everybody, Dallisa here, 5th generation psychic medium, and I am coming to you with my top predictions for 2023. I've created a PowerPoint presentation just so we have some screens up on this video today to help us move through the content, and I'd love to hear from you. So let's go ahead and start sharing the screen, and we will get started. Give me just one moment while I get this going here. There we go. Beautiful. So again, I am a 5th generation psychic medium. You may be following my work and my YouTube channel for some time. Maybe somebody shared this video with you. Either way, welcome to my presentation for what I am experiencing and seeing as a channel and a conduit for our time period ahead of us. Those of you not familiar with my work, or if you're looking to book a session, it's over at spiritandspark.com, and you should be watching this here on YouTube, Spirit and Spark TV. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please seek out professional advice. I am not a financial planner. I am not a real estate professional. I am not a doctor. I am none of those things. So please take what resonates with you and leave the rest. The way that my information comes through is in a few different ways. I'm clairvoyant, which means I see imagery and symbols. Sometimes it looks like a projection out in front of me, like a daydream. And it can be a symbol, it can be a number, it can be a short film. But I watch it project out in front of me. I'm clairaudient, which means I hear words and phrases, generally in the right ear. I am clairsentient, which means that I feel things in my physical body. Claircognizant, I have downloads that come in through my crown chakra. I also look at tarot cards. I did take a peek at numerology, and I am a current astrology student, and so some of that also influences what comes forward in my messaging. So I take everything in, and it's like playing Pictionary with the other side, and I bring that forward in a way that hopefully is concise and easy to understand and follow. But again, hopefully these slides in this video today will help move this through for you as well. As a part of the energy exchange, since this video is complimentary, I do ask that you help me reach more people through the video. If you have not yet clicked the button and subscribed down beneath this video, please subscribe to this channel on YouTube, Spirit and Spark TV. Give the video a thumbs up. It actually does matter. It tells YouTube that this is good content and they recommend it to more people. And then I want you to comment on this video. You can either comment and let me know where you're watching from today, like city, state, or if you're outside the United States, which country are you in? Or perhaps you want to comment along with this video today and let me know what you make of each of the predictions that I'm sharing. Either way, I want to hear from you. I read every single comment, by the way. The year 2023 is actually, in numerology, the year of a 7. So here is what I put together in regards to what the kind of tone of 2023 will be in regards to numerology. Every number is a frequency, and it gives a tone, an essence to the year. We will be asked to gather knowledge and seek a deeper connection with our own spiritual practices. So if you've been feeling drawn to studying and becoming a healer, maybe creating a profession around being a healer, you're looking for guides and mentors, 2023 will be a great year for that. This is also, you can see this on your screen as well, but this is going to be a year for truth and really being very clear with your communication. It is not a year that you're going to want to talk in circles or come up with stories and lie. This needs to be intentional. The other thing that a 7-year favors is depth and vulnerability. And so I put in here a hashtag buy selfies because a 7-year will really, people will want to connect with one another in more powerful ways. They're not going to really want to scroll through social media and see people like, doing their selfies. I mean, everyone's got a good selfie every once in a while, right? But it's not going to be that kind of year. It's going to, if you're, wanting to go deep, have big conversations, ask big questions, it will be a year for that. So you're in luck. Otherwise, maybe you think about retiring your selfie stick. Just saying. Okay, so each year, surprise, I get out my Rider-Waite tarot deck, and I shuffle, and I say, okay, give me the card that represents our year ahead. So I shuffled, and I said, all right, let's do this, and this is the card we got. We got the Death card. Now, although I do think there will be more and more people opting out of Earth School, where we find ourselves incarnated, the Death card is actually a really amazing card that signals that a lot of things are changing, and there's going to be a huge amount of new beginnings in 2023. So this is our card for 2023, the Death card. Whew. So a couple of the key words are transformation, change and endings, renewal and birth. It can signal that we are headed into a brighter future. Also, some words that may go along with this are grace and forgiveness, divine rebalancing, and a life review. Kind of like I've studied near-death experiences for many years through a variety of different teachers and interviews and things of that nature. And a lot of what people have had near-death experiences have said is they go through what's called a life review. They die, they go to the other side, and they are shown everything that they have done in their life thus far. And they experience it sometimes through the other person's perspective. So let's say you did something, really mean or awful to somebody. When you get to the other side, your life review is actually feeling that and experiencing it from the other person's perspective, as if you are the other person. So this Death card for me, I was like, oh, that feels kind of like a life review. What is it in your life that you've done that you're not that thrilled with, that you want to forgive yourself for, that you want to express grace to yourself and others? Where's that showing up? How can you do that? And just know that 2023 is going to be a massive year for things not being the same. I mean, I think anybody would agree with me, or a lot of people would, that we're not going back to January, February, March 2020. We're not going back there. We're not going back to December of 19. Like, those days are gone. So what are we going to do moving forward? You see on the Death card, a couple things that resonate with me on this card is getting back to like basics, getting back to the core. It's a skeleton on the horse there. That to me feels intuitively like we're getting back to the core, the basics of what we're going to need. It doesn't feel like a frivolous, superficial year, as I mentioned a few minutes ago. You can also see in the water behind, you can kind of see it tucked underneath the horse there. You see water in the background. There's a little boat, and the boat is believed to be headed to the afterlife. And then you see some people down there on the right-hand corner begging this skeleton on a horse to save them. And some believe that the symbolism there is that nobody can escape what is coming. Like, 2023 will hit everyone, which is true about any year, right? But 2023 is potent. So I expect by the time you get to 2024, there's going to be a lot of things about your life that have changed. So are you surrendering? Are you going with the flow? Are you releasing your fear? So let me know in the comments, what do you think about the Death card being our card of 2023? Let me know. All right, so here's one of the prediction themes that I'm bringing up for 2023, individual versus community priorities. And again, I'm clairvoyant, clairaudient, clairsentient. So I sit, I channel, I ask my spirit team in the universe, like, what do we need to know? What is coming into our pathway. And of course, as with any prediction for collective, for humans, for Earth, there are going to be some of these predictions that are going to hit you personally harder, while some of these are going to hit other people that are around you or people that you may know, or things that are happening that you may hear about, on the news. So these are the themes. So individual versus community priorities. I feel with this, it's going to be kind of going back and forth in 2023 between what do I need, what do I as the individual need, versus what can I give to other people around me. I do feel with this, some people may be perceived as a bit selfish in 2023. Like, hey, you've got enough, right? Like, hey, you have enough food, enough water, you have shelter, you have clothes. Who do you think you are? You have money. So there could be, some tension between people, especially if a person or a group thinks that somebody else or a group is being too selfish or not giving to the whole as a community. So it could feel like this balancing act. The other side of the equation is being humanitarian, helping with your own community, what's happening on your street, what's happening in your town, and really getting back to your own basics as a human being. Who's around you? Who do you want around you? Who are you going to exit relationships from? Relationships in like the next 18 months feel very much like it's either working or it's not. And it's not going to be something you're going to be able to force. So who's really on your team? And are you sovereign? Are you self-governing? Can you make it on your own without anyone else telling you what to do or giving you anything? If not, I would ask you to really cut the stress out, get back to basics, and understand, like, what is it that you need today so that you can be self-sustaining, okay? I feel like the people that are more self-sustaining will see greater prosperity in the next few years. I know we're more focused on 2023, but got a few things unfolding in the next few years, folks. All right, next up. Food, water, and supply chain. Rise in sustenance costs. So sustenance being things that, provide you with nutrients, things that help to keep you alive, all right? It is suggested that we have at least 3 months of non-perishable food. So think like canned food, clean water, and first aid supplies on hand. So even things like rice, beans, nuts. What do you have in your home today that if you needed to live off of it for 3 months, do you have enough? And if not, you may want to consider buying some more supplies. I also would encourage you to get curious as to whether or not your community has its own community garden. Is there a plot of land where anyone can go and grow things? Or perhaps there's a small rental fee where you can, use their plot of land and grow food in the garden. I would research this now and see if there's a way for you to get involved in the community garden. If there isn't one, maybe even consider starting one. All right, because it does feel like our food, how we grow our food, where we find our food is going to be incredibly important in 23, but also in the next few years. Do you have seeds? Do you know how to grow them? I do think costs and supplies in regards to gardening are going to be harder to come by. So you know that if you grow food or if you have food that you buy in the grocery store, there are ways of preserving the seeds so that you can grow the seeds. So there are plenty of resources online and books that you can read in regards to how to start your own garden, whether that's an outdoor, in the ground garden, beds, or like doing indoor pots. But this would be the time to start studying up. All right, next. Money runs wild. So we've all probably at this point seen the news, a lot of talk about inflation, recession, potential depression. I do see continued volatility with the dollar, cryptocurrency, centralized banking, and more people coming together to barter for goods and services. So don't be surprised if you start hearing more and more people say, hey, I'll trade you a haircut for, a bag of potatoes. I know it sounds wild, but I really feel like that's the direction that we're headed in. I've always said, and again, please consult financial advisors and people that understand money and markets. That is not me. Don't take my word for this. However, when I look at cryptocurrency from the beginning, I've always said it does not feel right to me energetically. And we have seen that there's been obviously ebbs and flows with crypto, but to me, it doesn't feel stable. But also, the dollar doesn't feel stable. So I do think there's going to be a lot of drastic changes around our money in the near future. It will fluctuate, in my opinion. I do feel like the inflation will hit an all-time high, and more people and families will be faced with financial hardship. About 18 months ago, I was getting strong downloads. So that would have been like early 2021. I kept feeling from the universe, from my spirit team, you got to buy a house, you got to buy a house, you got to buy a house. And I told my clients and I suggested to them when it came up in their readings about buying a home. And now we see the interest rates for mortgages are just climbing higher and higher. But there's also something I feel like, not just with mortgage rates, that it's going to be harder for individuals to buy land or buy homes. I do know there's a lot more corporations these days that are buying homes and turning them into rental properties. Rental costs are sky high. This doesn't feel like it's coming to a close anytime soon. So be prepared for this to be a hardship in regards to money and real estate for some time, okay? I do think more people will be drawn to more community, multifamily housing, even communal living. I've heard and talked to some people that are starting, their own like commune of sorts, where they're coming together with multiple families on a piece of land. I think people will also be seeking out multiple, even if it's part-time jobs or gig jobs, multiple to make their ends meet. Okay. Practice patience and understand your own worth. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. I think we all just need a big deep breath before I click go on the next slide. Let it all out. One more time. Remember, this too shall pass. This too shall pass. I believe we all are incarnated on Earth School right here, right now, for a reason. This is not a time for you to be afraid. I'm not trying to make you have more fear. It's like, what are you going to do? What are you learning? How are you growing? How are you evolving? Okay. We came here for the lessons, and folks, we came during a time where it feels like the SATs, the LSATs, we did not skimp out. Like, we are here doing the work. All right, next up. Old education system derails. I think a lot of people, especially those that are, sensitive and intuitive, are probably seeing this already, but I do feel like the current education system is going to go through even more turmoil, more and more teachers quitting. It's going to be hard to find teachers for traditional schools, parents pulling their kids out. I feel like funding into the education system is going to change as well. So if you have children, school-age children, if you've been feeling like putting them into more of a homeschool, community school, grassroots school, you're not alone. That feels more and more like it's going to be the way that people will be doing education for their children. Homeschooling will become very popular. Online school will be popular as well. But it feels like several families coming together and having a teacher teach the kids feels like that's going to be a model that's going to continue to grow. But I just see an exodus of even more teachers. Next up, deeper connection to galactics and the other side. I do feel like the sightings of UFOs, galactic beings, loved ones who have passed away, I feel like more and more we're going to be seeing them and experiencing them. Even myself as a professional medium, I'm seeing the spirits come in new and different ways. They feel a little bit more intense. I have had people that have never been open to psychic mediumship work reach out and say, hey, I have this experience. More people are having vivid dreams, premonitions through dreams. So it goes for, in my opinion, people that have passed away, but also galactics that are already working with the earth that are going to be showing up more and more. So don't be surprised if you feel like, gosh, I feel like there's an alien around me. I know that sounds a little bit wild for some of you, but I do think they're going to make their presence known more. Okay. I do also see an increase in light language and light codes that people will be channeling and sharing, and it will increase the vibrational frequency of humans, animals, and nature. So if you hear somebody, I just had somebody recently, Abigail, who was on the Planets and Prediction Summit. She channeled light language, and people that listened to it absolutely loved it. I had my own experience when she channeled it. Those things are going to become more prevalent. Okay. Just fun and exciting. I think they're showing up more and more because I feel like they want to give us more hope that we're going to get through this. We're going to make it through this. And so I think they're showing up to kind of lend a hand and let us know that it's all going to be okay in the end. And who doesn't need that reassurance, right? Okay, advancements with disease prevention and cure. So the three that come up for me and have come up for me regularly are different types of cancers, Alzheimer's disease, and HIV. Now they've made huge advancements with HIV, but I still feel like there's something else coming with prevention and cures for HIV/AIDS. Cancers, it feels like some kind of new wave, like a radio wave kind of frequency. And Alzheimer's, I've been seeing as a protein, some kind of protein treatment that they're going to do with that. Yeah, there's going to be major breakthroughs, which is going to be fantastic for all of us. It will lengthen our lifespan. I think a lot of us who are alive today are going to live to be quite elderly. So what are you doing now to make sure that you are as healthy as you possibly can be, because your life is likely going to be a lot longer than anyone you know here on Earth today? Okay. Divisiveness and political unrest. I do see an increase in riots, looting, and probability of war. I see a lot of fighting amongst Americans. And also I'm seeing war play out on a global scale. So I'm seeing it in both places there, civil and world. There will be more anger and divisiveness in terms of the United States, but I also feel like this is going to hit Earth, like the globe. So although I'm seeing it for the United States, I do feel like this is going to carry over into other countries as well, as they begin to break free from old paradigms that they have had in their countries. It is suggested that you limit mainstream news, go within to seek out your own intuition, and stay out of the fear narrative. There's likely going to feel you'll likely feel a difference between a couple of groups of people. And I've been seeing this for a few years now. I've been talking to my audience about it a lot, where you're either going to be, in fear or in faith. You can't be in both at the same time. So you're either in a place of fear and a fear story, fear narrative, and you keep talking about it and enforcing it, or you are in a place and a vibration of faith and knowing that things are unfolding for you, and that you are part of this divine creation of Earth and the universe and the galaxy, right? You can either be a prisoner or a pioneer, and that's going to be incredibly important in 2023. Are you a prisoner or are you a pioneer? Comment and let me know. Are you a prisoner or are you a pioneer? Really, like, what's your intention for the rest of this year going into 2023? I do feel there's going to be a change in guard in regards to some political leaders that will be removed from office, leave office unexpectedly. But I do feel within the federal government, within the United States, as well as other countries and their government, that some political leaders that are in power right now are trying to amp up rage and hatred to create divisiveness so that people fight, so that there's more power, perceived power in the federal government or the hub government, if you're not in the United States, like whatever government is over the people. So it's like they want to create more anger so that there's fighting, so that the government can help like oversee different programs and, oh, we'll come help you. And I feel very strongly that the federal government in the United States is going to go through a massive change and reset. What we know of our federal government today does not feel like it's going to be in existence in the somewhat near future. And I do think depending on where you live is going to come into play in regards to what your rights are. So the state you live in with the United States is going to become even more important. So you should be living in a place, in a state within the United States, if that's where you live, that aligns with what you want your rights to be, what you want your taxes to be, what you want your abortion rights or your gun rights, like what do you want those to look like, okay? Because it feels like less and less people are going to be relying on the federal government. Again, remember one of my previous slides was, are you self-governing? Are you self-reliant? Are you independent? If not, you could find yourself in a bit of some crosshairs here as we move forward into 2023. You may be faced with a personal choice of standing with the government or rebelling against it. I know, a little bit hairy, right? Changing landscape. I just mentioned this a moment ago, but where you live within the United States will determine a lot of what you can and cannot do. And I do feel there's going to be extreme unrest with the 2022 midterm elections here in the United States, which happen early November. I'm often asked, what do I see for the 2022 midterm elections? And anytime I ask, Spirit says, there are going to be no real winners. And that just gave me chills through my whole body. There won't be any real winners. Any. I don't care what side of the fence you're on. There won't be any real winners. So we're going to see how that plays out. But I do think that some U.S. states will begin to establish more of their independence from the federal government. The old is outdated. What do I mean by that? You are going to really be asked to go inward and heal, not just post on Instagram that you're healing yourself and, oh, here's a great quote about healing. Like, no. Like, are you actually healing? Or are you still feeling triggered emotionally? Like, does somebody say something and it really upsets you? If so, there's a wound there. Okay, so are you healing or are you numbing? Yeah? What are you watering? Are you watering the weeds or are you watering the things in your life that you actually want to see grow? The superficial will stand out and not in a good way. Relationships of all kinds that are not meant for you will be released. It's going to feel like if you're trying to grab an old relationship or one that you've been in that you don't want it to go, it's going to feel like you're grasping, but you can't quite grab a hold of it and bring it back. Okay? Healing the victim story in all of us. There's a lot of victimhood mentality in the world right now. And there's going to be that prisoner pioneer vibe, right? So if you feel like you're the victim and, oh my gosh, woe is me. Oh my gosh, somebody did something to me. Oh my gosh, I can't believe that happened to me. Like if that's your story, I would really have you consider why are you holding on to a victim story? 23 is going to ask us to be more victorious or stay in our old, outdated victimhood. Okay? If you are negative, and what I mean by that is if you're pessimistic, if you are telling yourself all the stories as to why it won't work out, negative attracts more negative. So if your story is, oh my God, I'm so broke, the universe is like, oh yeah, we'll send you more things to be broke about. Sure, coming right up. Your mindset is going to be absolutely critical now and into the future. So what are you thinking? Your thoughts are the order you're placing to the universe. Your inner circle and the world. Your inner sanctuary, meditation, journaling, self-care, self-bath, critical now into 2023. Do your own inner work and your own healing rather than trying to make other people change. If you are trying to control what somebody does, it's just you not paying attention to your own stuff. I have pretty regularly clients that come to me and they say, oh, let's just use this example. I really want my husband to start healing because he's really down and out. He's mean. He's spiteful. Like, I want him to heal. And I'm like, you can't make anyone do anything. I mean, you could be an example for transformation and change, where you inspire perhaps him to ask, what are you doing? Like, you feel different. Like, you could be the role model of transformation and change, but you can't make him do anything. And even if you make him and he tries it, it's probably going to be temporary. And then there's just going to create more angst between the two of you. So hold your own role model of transformation within you and then show up for other people. Let them see what you're doing. But if you're trying to change someone and have them do something or try something, it's just you not doing your own stuff. Okay? Your fears are holding you back. Are you ready to heal? What do you need to release? What do you need to let go of? Whew. Big questions, right? You're a magnet. You are attracting who you really, really, really are. You can't lie to energy. You can't lie to energy. You can't. So again, what you're thinking, what you're believing, that's what you're going to attract more of into you. There's no more hiding behind your words. Your actions will be the way in 2023. So like basically talk is cheap. Talk is cheap. A mentor that I have had over the years, Alexei, she taught me about approval, safety, and control. These are the three core energies. I love doing this work with clients, but we take a look at like, what are you seeking approval for? Why are you seeking approval? Why are you feeling like you're not safe, from persecution, from judgment, and what are you trying to control? Okay. I did include down below the Victim Triangle book. It's a short book. It's probably take about 3 hours to read. I recommend it to my clients all the time. If you feel like you really want to just kick out any kind of victimhood story that you've got going on, or you know somebody that's always trying to play the victim, do yourself a favor and read the book. I would suggest the paperback. It's like $13 because there's charts in it, but it's a really easy, amazing, amazing book. This is one of those books that I think is like a top 5 game changer for me of all time. Okay. Ways to thrive. Okay. Remember, you can only be in fear or in faith at any given time. There'll be moments when your faith is tested. Embody the mentality of being victorious rather than being a victim. Go within. Feel your breath, feel that heart beating, and know that everything is unfolding in your favor. The lessons you learn from Earth School, which I feel is one of the hardest schools you could have incarnated on, it will be unique and intense. And your mission will be to ride the wave and find the synchronicities and divine presence in your life each day. If you don't have a gratitude journal, I'd grab a gratitude journal. I'd write down 3 to 5 things every single day that you're grateful for. And in 2023, that list is probably going to look different than any other time in your life, even if you currently keep a gratitude journal or if it's something you've done in the past. This is one of those screens I feel like we really need to just take this in. This is the summary, I feel like, for a high level summary, 30,000 foot level summary for 23. I am doing a walk and talk 30-minute coaching, like life and spiritual coaching. Yes, I do readings. I do cards, I do psychic, I do mediumship, all that good stuff, right? But I feel like there's so many people right now that need help in sorting through a situation that they're going through. And it's without judgment. These are phone sessions, 30 minutes. I'm going to be walking and I'm going to be talking to you. You're going to be talking to me. And we're going to have a really honest conversation about how to move you out of the old stories, the old energy, and move you forward. Okay. So if you want to go on a walk, whether it's in your neighborhood or on your treadmill at the gym, whatever, I would come walk with me. I'll be walking in my in my town in Texas, and you can walk and let's just talk. Let's talk it out. Okay. I did include the link to do that. Listen, there are only 24 spots, and these are priced to move because I want people to start getting it out of their body. And that's why it's called walk and talk. You don't have to walk if you don't want to. You can just sit there while I walk and talk to you. All right. And then if you want a reading instead, that link's down there too. I will tell you the readings get booked up really, really, really fast. So, but I like life and spiritual coaching because I feel it's very empowering. So I want to just let you know that that is available because I'm often asked about my sessions. Reminder that if you're a Spark Plug member, I want you to submit your real talk questions. This is like where you can post or send in a question that I can't really answer on mainstream social media because they'll ban me. So Spark Plug members, that is free. That's part of your membership. So just make sure you send in those general real talk questions, things about like politics, the election, real estate, money, natural disasters, things like that. If you're not currently a member, you can go on spiritandspark.com, click on the Spark Plug, and use the code ENERGY to get a 30-day free trial. So you go to spiritandspark.com, click on the Spark Plug. Down at the bottom, you're going to see monthly. Click that. Finish checkout and just use ENERGY, the code ENERGY during checkout. There's also the psychic development class in there, tarot class. I also started incorporating in mediumship and remote viewing activities. It is all included in the membership. So if you're sitting here like, God, I really want to like boost my intuition, I really want to learn how to be psychic, like, cool, this is what I would point you to. And you can't beat this price. So yeah, this is where I would start if you're one of those people that wants to become a healer or step into your psychic abilities more. So like I said, I want to hear what you think. Comment on the video. What are you seeing and sensing for 2023? And if you missed it on the front end, please make sure you subscribe to this channel, like the video, give it a thumbs up. And if you wouldn't mind, can you please share this video? Copy a link on YouTube and share it. Share it on your social media, send it in a text message, an email. Help us reach more people, because when we work together and we come together, we can remind each other that we are never alone and we are on a mission on Earth School. So as a reminder, if you are looking for sessions, I've included all those links, including the TED Victim Triangle book below. But all my information is over at spiritandspark.com. You can also find me on Instagram and Facebook at spiritandspark. Ta-da! I hope the slides made it a little bit easier for you to follow along with. But again, please do me a favor, comment. I read every single comment. Let me know what stood out to you. What predictions are you seeing and sensing for the world? And what do you think we're in for? I really want to hear what you have to think and say. And hopefully I'll see you in one of my walk and talk sessions coming up, or if you want to do a prediction session about your life for 2023, now would be the time to get on my calendar for that. All right, everybody, we will see you soon. Thanks so much for being a part of my 2023 video. We'll see you soon. Bye.